Hello guys, and welcome to a quick little video where I have a couple of topics to discuss. So right now, as I'm recording this, I'm really just sitting waiting for the release of Mayo and Taxes 2.0, but it is now 1 hour after it was supposed to be released, so I thought I might as well record a little video for YouTube while I wait. And the video I want to make here is I want to make another question to you guys, kind of like what I did in the episode 0 of my Royalist France campaign, where I am asking for some opinions regarding some of the stuff going on in the campaign. So as you can see on the screen right now, I've tried to sort of make this a relatively spoiler-free. I can spoil, however, that I've now reached the year 1905, and I can also spoil that I have actually gone over the infamy limit. However, this is what I want to talk about, because I went over the infamy limit, and I'm not going to spoil exactly what happens, because I think that could be interesting to see for you guys, for you guys to see for yourself. But I can say that going over the infamy limit kind of broke the game. Like, I was pretty much able to survive all of the infamy wars and all of that stuff. However, the problem is that one of the modifiers you get from going over the infamy limit basically broke the game, and that is the modifier you can see on the screen right now, called international isolation. Now the problem with this modifier is that it doesn't actually expire when you win the infamy wars. Also, for those who do not know how infamy wars work in this mod, basically when you go over the infamy limit, you get a bunch of negative modifiers. That is unlike how it is in the base game, where you don't get any real penalties for going over the infamy limit, other than the fact that other nations get a casus belli against you. But in this mod, you get a bunch of negative modifiers, and a bunch of nations will declare war on you with a special casus belli and a special event that essentially makes your life a lot harder than it would be otherwise. But to try and not make this into too much of a talking video, well, I mean, it is a talking video, but my point is, the modifier you're seeing on the screen right now is called international isolation. And the problem with it is that you can see that it gives you a bunch of awful stuff like import cost, prestige, diplomatic points go down, pop consciousness. All of these things are very bad and hurt you a lot, but they don't kill your nation. The thing that totally destroys you is the monthly war exhaustion plus 0.90. Now, the reason that's such a problem is that naturally you only lose one war exhaustion when you are at peace. So basically this reduces your ability to reduce war exhaustion to only 0.10 each month, I think it is, which is really harsh and really bad. The thing that makes it even worse is that generally when you're done with an infamy war, you're going to be done with a war to end all wars type war, and that type of war gives you another modifier that makes you gain extra monthly war exhaustion. I think it's like 0.3 or 30. And the problem with this is that it adds up. So you end up, despite being at peace and having a country that's totally free of war and rebels, you still gain war exhaustion just from existing. And this basically breaks the game. Well, it doesn't break the game, but it does totally wreck you, because you're now going to get basically infinite, militancy, which is already pretty harsh because of the way I'm playing the game, trying to restrict voting rights and whatnot. So you're now drowning in militancy, which causes extra, rebels to rise up, and when rebels occupy your provinces, you gain extra war exhaustion. So basically what happens is that you're stuck at 50 war exhaustion, which I think is the max amount of war exhaustion you can have while at peace. And your country can't really function like that. And the problem is, like, even if you win the infamy war and get the event that resets your infamy back to 25, these modifiers don't go away. The modifiers have like a set amount of years that they are stuck with you. You can see on the screen right now, I'm going to be stuck with this modifier for 19 point, or yeah, I'm going to be stuck with these modifiers until 1919. And it's just not, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, like, it is technically possible to survive, I guess, but it's just not practical, because, like, even if you have a, you know, for example, a communist revolution or a liberal revolution or whatever the people want, that doesn't change the modifier, so you still gain further war exhaustion, and so you just get another rebellion, so you just get rebellion, and your country just goes to shit. And I've asked around a bit, and this is not a bug. This is indeed how the game is supposed to be. And in my opinion, that's completely broken. Like, I think that if you are able to win the Infamy Wars and your Infamy resets to 25, I personally think the International Isolation modifier should go away. Or it should at least be replaced by a modifier that's a lot less harsh. Because being stuck at maximum war exhaustion for like fucking 20 years is just not doable. So basically what I'm asking is, would it be okay by you guys if I basically just cheated and either removed the modifier completely or replaced it with something that's not quite as harsh? Because this strikes me as just completely unreasonable, and like I've gotten into a position where I can technically continue to play, but I don't really want to, because the game is basically not fun anymore, because I can't do anything anymore. I just have to constantly sit around killing rebels, and that's just not entertaining. So yeah, that's my question to you. Should I edit this modifier and continue the campaign, or should I be pleased with the progress I was able to make? Because I guess what I've learned is that Infamy Wars are fine, but you should really postpone them until the end of the game, so that you don't have to sit around dealing with the awful modifiers you get from International Isolation and whatnot. So yeah. That's the question that I have for you, and that I would love to see some feedback on. And I would also like to sort of expand this a bit, because I might go over the Infamy limit in other campaigns that I make in the future. So I would like to sort of establish sort of a GreenFors Infamy policy. Like, what is an acceptable way of dealing with this from you guys watching this? Because I personally think this is completely unbalanced, and the fact that you get the No More War modifier at the same time as you get this, like I get that it's not a bug, but it's just horrendous game design. You shouldn't be in a position where you are gaining war exhaustion from being at peace. That's ridiculous. Like, I get that other countries would be angry at you, but after you have basically wrecked the vast majority of the world in your wars, the rest of the world should get in line and not really be allowed to tell you what to do anymore, you know? At least not to the point where you're gaining 0.90 war exhaustion. It should be like 0.2 or 1 at most, you know? So yeah, that's the question. Leave your comments in the comment section, and the remaining part of this video I will spend on a extremely shitty, I don't even want to call it a tutorial on how to make France look like the way I made it in this game. And when I say that, I refer to the fact that, yeah, I'm referring to the fact that my awesome little Royalist France here has this white color. Or it's slightly grey, but I'll get into more detail on that later in the video. And the fact that my troops have white coats and blue pants, and that they don't look like the normal French troops look in Victoria 2, and stuff like that. However, this is a bit embarrassing to admit, but I've actually forgotten how you edit the flag, and this is really weird, but I've been getting quite a lot of requests on how exactly you change these things that I changed in the files. And as I mentioned back then, I really do not know how to mod the game, so I basically just did a bunch of trial and error, and eventually I got it to work. And among those things I got to work was the flag. However, Oh man, I've been sitting for so long now trying to figure out what exactly I did to change the flag. But I just can't figure it out. So I'm going to show you how to do the other things. And then I'm just going to hope, I guess, that someone in the comment section knows how to actually change the flag. Because I can't figure it out anymore. And maybe down the line I'll try and reinstall the game to see if the files have changed or something. But I don't want to reinstall the game right now because obviously I want to finish the campaign. Well, that is if you guys accept the fact that I'm going to be cheating away some of the harsh modifiers you get from going over the infamy limit. So yeah, I'll see you on my desktop screen. Alright, so here we are on my desktop. I'm going to quickly show you the things that I can show you. I also have the MIAU and taxes forum page open here because I really want to see if they actually release it soon, but it doesn't look like it. It was supposed to release at, you know, 18.000. I don't really know how you say clock stuff in English, but whatever. But no release yet, so I am very sad. But let's spend some time showing you guys how to change the color of France. So I've gone into my Steam folder, which is located in the program files thingy. You can just see it up here if you want to zoom in on the video to see exactly where you're supposed to go. But I just sort of semi-assume that you know how to find your Victoria 2 file, or yeah, in your stuff. Yeah, I'm really good at making tutorials, but I might make a better tutorial down the line once I actually figure out how to change the flag. So let's start with the stuff that I know how to do. So first of all, you got to go into the mod file because you need to change the color of well, if you want to do this without actually changing it in HPM, then you obviously wouldn't be going into the mod file and going into HPM. You would be doing the same thing that I'm doing right here, except in these files that you see right here. So you're going to hit the HPM file, and then you go into common, I think, countries, and here you get the text files of all the different countries. Then you scroll down to France, and here you get some of the basic information about your country. And I'm pretty sure you can change a lot of cool stuff here, but the stuff of interest to us right now is this, color. So these numbers right here, these three numbers, they are the ones that determine what color your country will be. Now obviously you could just do a bit of trial and error to find the color that you want, and also if you're looking at this, the color or the numbers that are written in right here, they are the numbers that I'm using in my Let's Play. So if you just want the color that I'm using, you can just copy paste 2, 3, 5 into each of the slots, and bam, there you have your color. I think this is the original color of Austria, although I might have slightly adjusted it. I'm not entirely sure. However, if you want to know exactly what color you're getting yourself into, you can just Google color codes, and this website, or any other website really that works, will tell you, you know, what numbers you need to write in. So you got the RG, I think this is red, green, and blue. Yeah, so you got one number. Yeah, you can notice that I really do not know what I'm doing here, but yeah, each of these numbers represents each one of the base colors or something like that. Well, regardless, basically what you do is if you want to make France red, you find like a nice red color that you like, and then you put these three numbers into here. If you want France to be a different shade of blue, you find your shade of blue, you take these three numbers and put them in here. And I guess we can check out which oh shit, which color I am using, just to prove that it is indeed how it works. Shit. So there we are. Here you can see the slightly grayish white that I'm using in my Let's Play. So there we are. That's the color I use. So that's how you change the color of France. Now another thing you might want to change is the unit colors. Now if you want to do that, you can see that here it says graphical culture. Now this is the line of, I don't know if you want to call this code or just whatever. This is the thing that determines what kind of unit graphics your units will use. Originally when you open this without having changed anything, it will have a special unit graphics for France. For example, you can see Germany has the Prussian GC, although the majority of other nations just have the European generic GC. And the thing is, if you want to make custom unit colors, you need to change it away from the France GC into the generic one. So basically, just what you do is you go into some generic European nation, copy the European GC, or just remember how it's spelled, I guess, but whatever, and then you copy paste it in here in place of the whatever stuff was being here before. So that's how you do that. If you want to change the colors, you go into back into the common folder and you go into country colors. And then once again, you need to find France, presuming you are going to be editing France, that is. Which you can either just look, you can just scroll down and see if you can find it, or you can use the find feature of whatever program you're using to open these text documents. I'm just using Notepad, which I think is a thing that it's a program that comes with most operating systems, at least Windows. So I don't think you need to download anything, but if you want to be professional, you should probably download like Notepad++ or something like that. But I'm not professional, I'm just a shitty YouTuber. So here we are, France. Now I'm pretty sure, you can see that the color code up here is almost the same as the color code I used for my nation. Basically, this is the coat color, the top one here. The one below that is the color of the pants, and I'm honestly not entirely sure what the bottom one is. So once again, I don't know how modding works, so I really can't tell you any more than that. But these are the two that I figured out. The reason I know that is because I know this is the color code for white, and this is the color code, I think, from a type of blue that one of the guys in the comment section suggested. So yep, these are the numbers you edit, and of course whenever you do change something, you gotta remember to click save manually. It's not going to do it otherwise. And that's how you change the color of your nation and the color of your units. Now, quickly before I end this very long and messy video, I want to talk a little bit about the flags, because I would actually like to know, like, if there are any people who actually know what they're doing in the comment section. I would love to know how do you fucking change flags, because in general you go into your HPM file and you go into graphics or GFX, and then you go into flags, and here you see the flags of the different nations. So if we go into France, presumably, as I have mentioned a billion times, I don't know actually how you mod stuff, but what I assume you are supposed to do is you find France, here we are, France, and then you open the France file, and then you get, the French flag, and then you change the French flag, and bam, now you have changed your flag. But that's not actually how it works, at least not in my game, because you can see even the monarchy flag is in fact the tricolor, and these are the files that I'm using to play the game with. So I'm not sure, like, these, I don't even know what these files do, because obviously they don't seem to impact the actual in-game flags or whatever. This is the fascist flag, by the way, which is different, but obviously it's not the flag that I'm using, so obviously that's not the thing you need to change. So that's what I thought you were supposed to do, but that's not in fact what you're supposed to do. And I remember bumping into this when I was trying to figure out how to change the flag. Basically, there is a file in this folder here that I remember changing, but that just isn't here anymore. So I don't really know what's up with that. If you're wondering what file that is, if we go into the unmodded files of the base game and go into that graphic files and go into flags, we can find that there are certain files here that are just called flag files. And these are the files I remember actually changing, but obviously I haven't been changing the flag files in just the base game. I'm pretty sure anyways, because I remember just not really figuring out how to do it, so I basically just changed it so that regardless of what happens, the French flag is the fleur-de-lis flag. But you can see here that here we have like a bunch of different flags. So I remember what I did is that I found this, you know, the version of this file that is for HPM, and I copy pasted the fleur-de-lis flag into the spot that the French flag had, and that did the trick. But I can't find the file that I actually edited, and I've been spending quite some time running through the files here, trying to figuring out what I did wrong. I've been verifying the cache, whatever that does, but it's a thing that a bunch of tutorials tell you to do, and that actually caused some crashes. So hopefully I haven't broken the game, but that's sort of the thing. I'm a bit afraid that if I mess around with the files more, I'm just going to break the game, and I don't want to break the remaining part of my campaign, so I'm not going to do that. So if anyone in the comment section actually knows how you actually do this stuff, then please tell me, because I would love to make a proper tutorial on how to make France royal again. So yeah, let's see if Mayo and Taxes is released yet. No? God damn it, Gigao. What are you doing? What is this bullshit? Oh well, I'll go be salty on my own, because I think I'm going to be ending this video here. It's been way too long already, but once again, I just, you know, I'm really just sitting waiting for Mayo and Taxes 2.0, which I really, you know, hope that everyone else was doing at the time of me making this video. Obviously, by the time you're seeing this, I hope at least Mayo and Taxes should be out, so yeah. So yeah, anyways, I guess thank you for watching this video. Remember to tell me in the comment section what I should do about the Infamy problem. Should I cheat in order to keep the campaign going, or should I keep it as it is and either somehow try to keep the campaign going, or should I just end it and conclude that I learned my lesson? So yeah, remember to tell me about that stuff, and until next time, bye.